My name is Tim O'Shaughnessy. I'm the CEO of Graham Holdings, the parent company of Kaplan, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you all this evening for many reasons, but including the fact that I have probably the easiest and most wonderful task assigned to me tonight, which is I get to spend a few minutes talking about and introducing my friend Dan Porterfield and presenting him with the Leadership Award. For those that know Dan, congratulations. For those that don't, you should do so. There are few people in life that have the ability to impact lives in the way that Dan is able to do. Dan has spent his entire career pushing to provide a foundational support environment that allows the lives of young people to be successful and have an impact on the world. After attending Georgetown University, becoming a Rhodes Scholar at Oxford, and getting a PhD from CUNY, Dan began his career in service and education. After working for Donna Shalala at Health and Human Services in the Clinton administration, Dan spent almost 15 years running various functions at Georgetown University, our shared alma mater. Dan left Georgetown to become president of Franklin and Marshall. We'll allow time. Where he elevated the university to new heights in terms of rankings, financial fortitude, student diversity, and student outcomes. This past Friday, June 1st, Dan became president of the Aspen Institute, where he is already plotting on how to harness the resources of the institution to make tangible change in how the world is best prepared for the issues of tomorrow. But enough with the resume reading. There's one other role Dan plays that may surpass the importance of everything I just listed: mentor. I'm certain I'm not alone in being a mentee of Dan's, but I'm certainly grateful he took the time to help shape me. While I was an undergraduate at Georgetown, he played an enormously important role in helping me realize I didn't have to be a bystander in a world taking place. I didn't have to be a bystander in a world taking place around me, but I could be a participant and help shape its outcomes. Dan saw talent and inspired me to become a leader instead of a loafer. I was someone who was cruising through school, doing enough to get by, but not what I was capable of doing. He helped me realize how talents can be applied in a way fulfilling to you and useful to the world. He even supported some of those talents with university administration when I brought a hot dog and pizza food truck to the middle of campus to sell food from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. on weekends. Thank goodness I had his support, or else perhaps Georgetown wouldn't be our shared alma mater. Dan believes in you so much, you can't help but believe in yourself, and thank God he did that with me. There are few people who have been more influential in my life than Dan Porterfield. But it's not just with me. Dan has been a trailblazer for creating a higher education model that provides access for high-achieving, low-income students. By moving away from a merit aid-based approach to one that proactively strove to find students regardless of zip code, Dan was able to take many of the dogmas of higher education at top universities and turn them on their heads. During his time at F&M, he nearly tripled the number of Pell Grant eligible students and was able to do it while also increasing the average SAT score of the student base. While at F&M, he also created the American Talent Initiative, where with other university presidents, they jointly set a goal to enroll 50,000 additional Pell Grant students at high graduation rate colleges and universities. 95 schools, including most of the Ivies, have signed on. This guy is good. For all his work in helping kids from all income levels and walks of life be able to succeed at top universities and in life, it's my pleasure to welcome Dan Porterfield on stage as this year's honoree to receive the Kaplan Educational Foundation Leadership Award.
Wow, Tim, thank you so much for that mendacious introduction. It was It was indeed a great pleasure to mentor Tim O'Shaughnessy when he was a sophomore in college. And I saw the leadership right out of the box. He was never a loafer. But it is true that Tim O'Shaughnessy brought to Georgetown University what we together came up with. We branded as the greasy food truck. And he's the one, though, that went down to the Smithsonian and interviewed all of the greasy food truck purveyors to see which one was worthy of crossing into the campus gates. You predicted your successes in business, that rolling up your sleeves to do those interviews. And it's just been great to watch you lead in so many different ways, continue growing all the time. That's what all teachers want for their students and all mentors for their mentees, constant growth. Speaking of that, it's pretty cool to see these Kaplan scholars. You are an amazing and inspiring group. And I think that everybody here tonight will go back home and into our circles of influence and say to those that listen to us, this Kaplan Scholarship Program is fantastic, and these kids are the future of the country. So exciting. Thank you to Andy Rosen, to F&M parent, Melissa Mack, proud parent. I have a little bit more to say about F&M in a few minutes. Nancy Lee Sanchez, and I especially want to take a moment to thank the legendary Don Graham, who invests his sweat and blood and time and dollars in helping lower income students, especially the children of Washington, D.C., and nationally, those courageous, undocumented teenagers and adults we call the Dreamers. Don knows who the Dreamers are. Those family-loving, law-abiding, degree-attaining, job-holding, business-creating, English-speaking, tax-paying, patriotic, new Americans who most legislators say they love while letting them languish in a legal no man's land because some other fix is always more important. And Don stands up for those young people because he's kind and empathetic and fair-minded. Now, as you have already seen and heard in beautiful display, the Kaplan Foundation is an extraordinary organization that does vital work to find, underwrite, educate, and launch. Let me say those words again. Find, underwrite, educate, and launch students who will become the future of this country. It's no coincidence that the 4 first letters of those Kaplan words are an acronym FUEL, find, underwrite, educate, launch. Because Kaplan knows that people who are educated and trained and empowered and creative are the fuel of American democracy. We all know that. The City University of New York knows that. The foundation knows that. And you see talent and greatness in the forms of expression that those young people displayed today. I'm inspired by your belief that there is talent all across this city and all across this land, and that the talents and voices from the full American mosaic must be represented in our country's places where decisions get made, from classrooms to courtrooms, from school boards to zoning boards, from innovation hubs to investment firms, in order to create the economic, social, and political strength needed to be a great democracy and a good society. The Kaplan Foundation knows that effective education is the key to making that vision a reality. There are no shortcuts. Effective education gets it done. And I love the faith that animates your work, your belief in the young, in learning, your belief in learning, your belief in America. I love the way you see the assets in your students, and you see the vital role that community colleges play as bridges to four-year institutions and engines of social mobility. You know how important it is to roll up your sleeves and support these students, to get to know them personally, step by step, week by week, joy by joy, dream by dream. You are the ones that create the framework within which these students can have a voice and express their aspirations and then act on those aspirations in a way that gives meaning, deep, deep meaning to their lives and to their belief in America. Others in the society need to adopt your vision. They need to see talent the way you see talent. What a different, stronger, more American America we could be if we could truly see all of the talent across this great land. And so that's what we're here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate your transformational work and the vision that animates that work, fueling over 12 years countless students to higher education and beyond. Your values animate some of the best work done by other visionary organizations. You're part of a great people-serving network of institutions who believe, with Roosevelt, that education is the real safeguard of democracy. I want to bring greetings from a couple of the institutions that are your partners in this work. Now, one is CUNY, and JB is here. Now, I don't work for CUNY, but I went to CUNY. I'm an alum, so I can bring greetings from CUNY. I'm so impressed with what my alma mater has done to connect with the Kaplan Foundation and make this program possible. Another institution that has helped me a great deal is the College Board, where I was honored to serve for 4 years as a trustee, supporting the leadership of CEO David Coleman, who's here tonight. And David has transformed the College Board from a testing organization to a learning organization with its expansion of advanced placement, with the reboot of the SAT to emphasize classroom learning and practice, with his investment in new research on learning outcomes and in curricula that can empower teachers to get kids off to an early start, and of course with his principled commitment to making all of the college's resources available for free for low-income students. David, thank you for your leadership. I want to bring you greetings from the Aspen Institute, where I've been working for 3 days. The Institute's programs are wide, deep, and diverse. We have something called the College Excellence Program, led by a dynamic executive director, Josh Weiner, which is really like a cousin to the Kaplan Foundation, because Josh's work with his team is focused on strengthening student outcomes among community colleges, investing in the talent development of mid-career people who work in community colleges to prepare the next wave of college presidents, and Josh leads that Bloomberg-funded American Talent Initiative that Tim mentioned that has a big, audacious goal of 50,000 more Pell Grant students enrolled in our top colleges by the year 2025. And I'm just getting going at the Aspen Institute, but let me just say this, that as you start to hear, notice that what this place is, it's a vast people-serving force that has programs that serve the public good here and abroad in all sorts of ways. The 3 areas I really see myself focusing on right now, to be just simple and direct about it, are the young, the future, and democracy. If you have any good ideas, I'm all ears. Now, finally, then, I want to bring greetings from the private institution where I just completed my service of more than 7 years as president, Franklin and Marshall College, which is a leader in this national imperative of identifying and supporting talent from every community and every zip code, and whose newly named 16th president, Barbara Altman, now provost of Bucknell University, is going to deepen our work and make it even more visible. Well, joining me tonight are 2 members of Franklin and Marshall's Board of Trustees. One is Joan Fallon, class of 1979, a researcher, entrepreneur, and innovator whose groundbreaking discoveries are going to change the way childhood autism is understood and diagnosed and treated. Joan, thank you for your support. And then second, one of our trustees, Sean Jenkins, class of 2010. That's right, 2010. He hails from Harlem. He's an F&M graduate who then founded 2 college access programs that are really getting the job done. And he was so good at founding those programs that I recruited him to become my boss. So Sean, thank you for joining us. And I mentioned Sean and Joan, and I have something else to say along these lines now, because while I so appreciate this honor, it is absolutely gorgeous. I think of it as an offer because I don't know that I deserve it. I really know no one person deserves the recognition for the work of a community. Franklin and Marshall College has made national news and received a great deal of recognition over the past few years because of our talent strategy. Now, it is true, as Tim said, we've tripled our proportion of lower income students in the incoming classes in just 6 or 7 years' time, going from roughly 6% Pell Grant students to a sustainable 20% the last 4 years. At the same time, we have indeed enhanced the academic quality and reputation of the college. Applications are through the roof. Donations for financial aid are through the roof. The Pell Grant students have the same GPAs, the same graduation rates, the same retention rates as the student body as a whole. But this is the work of a community, not an individual. It takes a board, a faculty, funders, a career center, high school partners, and most importantly, the students and their families. That's why our college can stand as a national example for all of higher education about why it benefits every student if a school develops a talent strategy that empowers low and modest income students to get the support they need to pay their fair share to then go to the college. And we celebrate the Kaplan Foundation, we celebrate Franklin and Marshall College for this vision, this democratic vision of education and opportunity. We are really celebrating this big idea that everyone in our country, everyone has something to offer, that each person is defined by a collection of assets and capabilities and aspirations and talents that need to be harnessed and directed and cultivated for the good of our republic. We want to empower each and every person to have a choice-filled life where they have that feeling, I hope all in this room share, of being able to go to work or raise your families or enjoy life and feel you are doing what you are called to do. And education is the fuel that allows us to invest in the young in that way. And just as tonight, we saw these 25 or 30 students on the stage, and it was so inspiring. For 7 years, I got to see the human face of college opportunity each and every day on my campus in the form of our talent strategy. And I brought a few of the talented ones with me tonight to show them off. So, for example, here tonight is Abby Moringbade. She's a Posse Scholar from New York. I just gave her degree 3 weeks ago. Honor student, just picked to be a 2018 Princeton in Africa Fellowship holder, which she'll take to Uganda in about 3 weeks. Abby, way to go. Here tonight is Carolina Helano, who also just graduated, who attended a KIPP school in the Bronx, then became an ABC scholar, came to F&M, graduated in 4 years, did study abroad, was a campus leader, just started her first postgraduate job last Friday as a program associate at Bloomberg Philanthropies. Congratulations, Carolina. And here tonight is Fatou Keita, who migrated to America from Guinea, came to New York City, went to high school here in New York City. Her education was supported by the Opportunity Network on her pathway to college. She killed it at F&M, won the Dick Winters Leadership Award, and just finished working for Bloomberg herself for 2 years, and was one of 8 recipients nationwide for a George J. Mitchell Scholarship to do peace studies in Ireland. And this, my friends, is why F&M celebrates our talent strategy as a resource for every single student in our college, every single student, as a beacon for society. We are, in fact, a much more diverse institution than we were 7 years ago. We've almost tripled the percentage of domestic students of color, for example. But to say it directly, we carried out our work not as a diversity strategy, but as a talent strategy. And we carried it out because I want those young people thinking of themselves because of their talent and realizing with that talent comes both opportunity and responsibility. Congratulations. And there is, as we saw, so much talent all across this country. So many women and men who bring to the table intelligence, drive, commitment, passion, hard work, faith, trust, vision, hope, energy, and integrity. That's what we invest in when we invest in our Kaplan scholars, when we invest in great colleges. Thank you for investing in the future of our country. Thank you. Thank you.